Hey, what's up, Binance?
And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentleman of Crypto episode 1309. Today is Thursday, March 13th, 2025, and I'm King here to bridge the gap between community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Mission. Today's top stories: U.S. House follows Senate in passing resolution to kill IRS DeFi broker rule. Trump family held talks with Binance for stake in crypto exchange. Rumble embraces Trump era crypto strategy with $17 million Bitcoin purchase. Argentine lawyer requests Interpol red notice for Libra creator. Crypto whale liquidated for $308 million in leverage ether trade. Ripple begs Dubai license to offer crypto payments in UAE, and lone Bitcoin miner wins block using tiny cheap rig, 1 in a million chance. But first and foremost, of course, we are going to really quick go over these prices to see what type of shape this market is in. I know people are going crazy. Some people are loving it. You're getting a discount on the buys, but regardless, we are alive and well. All right. With that being said, let me pull this up. Boom. Here we go. Coin market cap. Let me refresh it actually because I was on it earlier. Fear and greed index. Oh man, it went up a few tidbits. That's looking good. Bitcoin coming in at 81. It was at 82 just now. $81,891, down 1.08%. Oh, let me go ahead and turn on this chat as well. See you all in the chat. Ethereum, which we will be talking about today, at $1,879, down 0.72%. XRP at $2.31 at number 4, up 5.27%. On the news of the day, we'll be talking about them. Number 6, Solana, $124, up 1.13%. Number 8, Cardano at 71 cents, down 2.66%. Number 9, Dogecoin at 16 cents, up 0.13%. And number 10, Tron at $2.12. Fear and greed index is at a 21. So again, a few points higher. Bitcoin dominance is at 60.8, and Ethereum dominance, even though they're trying to shield it from you all, is at a 8.5, the lowest I've seen it in years. And by the way, there's definitely a concerted effort going on between CoinMarketCap, Cointelegraph, and a few other publications out there. They are doing everything they can to keep Ethereum above flow, above water right now. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm telling you, just looking at the way the articles are being shaped as far as the headlines and the amount of them, I'm like, oh, they're doing everything they can for Ethereum right now. Another thing I was going to say, today when I was looking through some of the news stories, and yesterday, I looked at the news stories even though I didn't report on it. Something I noticed is that like we are literally we have the trends from a fundamental point of view. We now have trends that we can start charting, I believe, which would be weird, where you can almost chart fundamental trends and a technical point of view. And what I mean by that is, okay, articles for today in general. Some of the things are going on, like the governments around the world are going after people, right? We're going to be talking about this red notice today. People are getting liquidated per usual. So people are still doing like even after the show the other day when I was talking leverage trades and all this other stuff doing margin, like someone watched the show and got inspired and liquidation hit. So we see that happen all the time. Ripple or some other cryptos taking over a new region. We see that happen all the time. A lone Bitcoin miner wants some crypto. How exciting is that? It happens every now and then. Pretty cool. And then, of course, we're seeing whether it's the SEC, IRS, or whatever type of regulatory agency here in the US make news. So it's just kind of interesting today when I was going over these. And then some of the articles I didn't even cover. They're talking about cyber attacks. Bybit still crying about their hack crypto, but I'm like, this is the trend of fundamental analysis now. It's crazy, folks. We can now expect to see every year, like, okay, there's going to be a big hack. It is what it is. Every year, every other year, let's say every other year, right? Every 2 years, there's going to be a big hack. All right. It's just going to happen. It's probably going to be on exchange, but either exchange oriented or project or platform oriented. Like, there's going to be a big hack. Funds will be laundered, right? There'll be mixers mixing, whether some people like it or not. There'll be the fallout from that. There'll be new regulations from that. We know there'll be tax discussions every year around the same time. Again, we know certain cryptos like Ripple will continue to try to expand. I saw the SEC looks like they're dropping their lawsuit, so they're really about to go far and wide the next 3 years. We always see conspiracy theories, tinfoil toboggan, this one being the top story of the day with Trump and Binance, but literally the fundamental analysis are starting to have trends to them, folks. This is amazing, showing the market maturation happening right in front of us, as well as from a portfolio point of view. It can kind of help you with those ebbs and flows and know when are good times if you're still currently doing any type of trading as far as portfolio trade, not maybe not day to day, but maybe quarterly, right? If you're doing it quarterly, you know, hey, around this time, I expect Bitcoin to dip. Around this time, I expect it to pump, i.e., January 1st, we expect at least a 5 to 7% pump. So that's one of those things where every year you can start putting certain things in the calendar that, hey, we can expect this to happen. So this is good news. I love seeing it. Let me give some shout outs really quick in the chat. What's going on, BK Crypto, Jump Out Girls, Memories of Mike Alipio, Just Call Me L, Chloe Dior. Oh man, hang me. I always say this wrong sometimes. Hematosis. I know you pronounced it for me one day. I forgot it though. Patrick Walter got a lot of Magnolia Pelican. Good morning, everybody. What's up? A lot of influencers who roll with and partner with Bybit have suddenly gone dark. No new videos in a week for them. Hey, you know how it goes. Just like the top 10 tokens, we get new influencers coming and going. And sometimes, yeah, a bad project, platform, or exchange can wipe out a like segment of influencers in this market. So, with Bybit going down, I can expect to see a lot of people who are probably promoting it and getting paid by them. Like you said, deleting via videos or just like disappearing for the next few months. Let's see, Bitcoin, but yeah, give me a shout, Frederick. Let's give me a shout. Let's see what else we have. All right, Jay Fever, get to 1 Bitcoin. That's what I'm talking about. All right, top story of the day. We are talking about the U.S. House. They're following the Senate and passing the resolution to kill the IRS DeFi broker rule. And what I will say will be the first, well, I won't say technically the second, but the second public shot to the IRS, the first public shot being, of course, President Trump saying that 80,000 IRS agents not happening. I mean, you all should know that wasn't going to happen. They spent 2 years looking at the man's tax returns or trying to. He's not hiring new ones. But it looks like the first real attack, to me at least, outside of that hiring freeze, because that kind of happened across the government in general. This is like the first real shot when it comes to crypto as well. You're talking DeFi broker rules at the IRS. I think this is a great sign to see that both the House and the Senate are on the same page when it comes to essentially, I won't say marginalized, but diluting the powers of the IRS when it comes to the crypto space. This is the first step of that. I'm happy to see both sides are on it. To me, this was just the good faith one, right? This is, hey, 2 + 2 is 4, right? We're on the same page. Sky is blue. The House, Senate, everybody's like, yes, we are on the same page. Let's go ahead and shoot this bad boy down. I think this is going to be the first of many things you see get passed where it's going to help or encourage the innovation of the crypto market and hurt or discourage the IRS from essentially following that market. Like this, I hope to see by the end of these next 2 to 3, 4 years, it's to the point where it's like if you're the IRS looking at this market, you better be looking to see how you can save Americans money, right? Unless a violent attack on someone happened. They said they use crypto. Like, don't worry about what we're doing over here. You need to figure out these banks and these billionaires. A bipartisan majority in the U.S. House of Reps voted to repeal the so-called IRS DeFi broker rule. The U.S. House of Reps has voted in favor of nullifying a rule that would have required decentralized finance protocols to report to the IRS. Again, it would have been dumb as I don't know what anyway, because like I said, it's whack-a-mole. Essentially, the way I think it actually would have worked would be the way you saw with Tornado Cash. They would have started off trying to arrest the DeFi platforms or going after them or finding them. And then after people would literally just like either stop using it, telling everybody, hey, we're moving this. Like a couple DeFi exchanges just done that recently. I got an email from them, or if you try to sign back onto their site, they're like, hey, we got a new website, new name. For those who stream movies or live sporting events, you know what I'm talking about. A new name pops up, every 6 months or whatever. If you download music, you know what I'm talking about. A new name pops up every 4 months. So this would have been no different. Like, right? The IRS would have spent all this time, which, by the way, they really would have just been extorting the American public and citizens by waste, fraud, and abuse, because they would not have been able to stop this. They would have went after these companies or exchanges, right? A DeFi exchange, for example. The exchange literally overnight would be like, okay, everyone, our new exchange name is something else. And here's a new platform, because it's all open source code or it's closed source code for specific companies. But regardless, it's not hard to recreate it. So the next step would have been fine. We can't go after these DeFi places. We have to go after the people, and then the people would have been in court the same guy as the same way as the Tornado Cash guy saying, "You're violating my freedom of speech. I created code. I created lines of code on the internet that you know creates a website, or it appears to be a website, still a line of code. You can just see it as a website, interact with it as a website, as what we know it as. But because of that, and because you can't stop it, you're going to arrest the person. Again, we saw that with Tornado Cash. It is a slippery slope, and you would have to do that to so many developers if you were to do that on the DeFi side of the house. So I'm glad the Senate and the House has come to their senses and not allow this. I don't think they didn't allow it for the greater good of DeFi. Again, I think this is an all-out, exhaustive attack on the IRS from the Trump administration. This is just one of the ways they can win, right? So anything they can get where they can say, "Yeah, we did it for the greater good of constituents," right? Like this is what we're doing for you all. Like that just makes it easier. But regardless, they're about to start knocking the pegs down from the IRS. So it was good that one of them could be a crypto peg that they could use as their like case example and shining light. But believe me, they're going after the IRS in general, I think. So this is just one of the ways we've been benefiting from it. And with that, like I said, I got to be fair. I got to be fair. This deserves a round of applause. All right, all right. And speaking of the Trump administration, this was crazy news. Like things I didn't expect to see today. Trump family held talks with Binance for stake in crypto exchanges being reported. Now, people like to sensationalize things. As I was looking this up, I didn't find out or see who reached out first. So it could have been the Binance like company who were in talks with the Trump family. And that could be as simple as, "Hey, we reached out and we just wanted to hold a meeting with you." Someone who's worth billions of dollars, you're going to hold a meeting with at the very least. And then at the meeting, you find out is about ownership or something of the company. So to me, it's like that's kind of hit or miss. I'm not sure exactly how it went down. But it's being reported Binance reportedly reached out to Trump's family in 2024, offering to strike a business deal as part of a plan to resume Binance.US operations in the country. Oh man, bold move, Binance. Representatives of the US President Donald Trump's family have reportedly held talks with Binance about potentially acquiring a stake in the crypto exchange. Binance reached out to Trump's family reps in 2024, offering to strike a business deal as part of a plan to resume Binance.US operations in the country. The Wall Street Journal reported on March 13th. All right, so a reputable source, citing familiar sources familiar with the matter. The report mentioned that Binance's billionaire founder Champagne Zhao CZ, who served 4 months in the prison in the United States, has been pushing for the Trump administration to grant him a pardon. It's unclear what form the Trump family stake would take if the deal comes together, or whether it will be contingent on a pardon, the report says. So, um, very interesting, to say the least. I kind of believe like if it were to happen already, it would have happened. Like he came in and pardoned Ross Ulbricht first day in office type of deal, first week. So if the Binance CZ was going to be along with that batch, I feel like he would have came in and did it. A, B, I get it, but how much? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe a billionaire needs to tell me. And I know it's a lot of money, but as far as like 2 billion to 4 billion, right? Like how much more money would they have given Trump for this? And he did his meme coin play, which already got a bunch of money. So you get what I'm saying? It's one of those things where it's like Binance might have been like a dollar late, a dollar short, a day late, dollar short. Where it's just like, "Oh yeah, we got this package for you, whatever." And Trump just seems like, "Yeah, we're actually launching a meme coin, and if we win, like we already got the numbers on this, we're good to go." So it's one of those things. Like I don't know. Of course he does make deals. Who knows? But I do know if CG does get pardoned or something does happen where Binance is shown favor here in the next few years, and then Trump, of course, that administration ends and within a year or two, we see someone from his family go work from Binance or have some type of top tier position, possibly not with Binance because they're getting like all the politicians are getting like I won't say smarter. They're smart enough to con the way they do, but they're getting cleaner. So I would assume by this time everyone will get cleaner, and it wouldn't be like a Trump family member name on the Binance board. But I would say those, let's say if CZ and his team started a brand new company or a different crypto XYZ, and then you saw them as advisors on that board, the deal was made. Like you could pretty much assume the deal was made. All right. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. But it's one of those things where, again, as I always say, time will tell. There's no way to know now. We got to wait some years and see what happens afterwards. 6'9" Barron Trump should be. See, Barron Trump 6'9". Goodness gracious, I didn't know that boy been. That's yeah, he should be hooping. Why isn't he hooping? That's hilarious. All right. Rumble embraces Trump era crypto strategy with $17 million Bitcoin purchase. I guess that's the reason why. I don't know. Let me restart. I was like, why did they put Trump in there? Everybody's using the politics as like just clickbait. The video sharing platform added 188 Bitcoin to his treasury as the U.S. president attempts to establish a crypto stockpile in the government. Yes, they're just trying to make this a part of the story, unless Rumble says something about it specifically. But in March 12 notice, Rumble said it added 188 Bitcoin to his treasury for the roughly $17.1 million investment suggested by CEO Chris Pavlovsky in November following Donald Trump winning the U.S. presidential election, was touted as a hedge against inflation and part of a broader move to deepen ties to the crypto industry. So again, Rumble is making it clear they are all in on Bitcoin. And shout out to them. I will be on their platform here soon. A couple little last minute things I have to do on it, but I will be on their platform soon. So shout out to Rumble. Can't wait to join up over there. And I keep locking myself out my screen. You know what? I made this screen too big today. And every time I scroll my mouse, I'm locking. I got listen, you ain't about to Ross Auberg me. I got a quick auto lock feature on my laptop. And I scrolled across the low key like twice already. So if you see me, if the screen keeps cutting off of the story, or if I keep cutting out, then that's what's essentially going on. My auto lock feature keeps popping up. Hilarious. Hey, listen, I'd rather work while I'm live streaming and not work at all. Okay. I'm okay with it. They are not going to Ross Auberg. Look, you get my attention and my hand scroll the wrong way. This computer locks up, baby, and everything gets erased quick. All right, Argentine lawyer. We are going to Argentina now. All right, really quick, before I start this story, and I essentially said this, and I'm going to stay as crypto as I can with it, but I've essentially said this with other influencers. Let's just say other influencers. They come out, I'm this, I'm that. They brag, they're braggadocious, this, and then it's like they get pinched for something. Like the government comes after them somewhere. We know the most infamous ones being like the Tate brothers and stuff. And I always say is like, well, for one, like you have to be gang when you do this. People don't understand. They really, all these people think money can save them. It can to a certain extent, but when you're messing with governments and you're saying, yeah, this government let me do this, and these people, it's like, oh man, like, if you were gang, you would know not to talk like this publicly. Like, oh, what are you doing? You're embarrassing everybody. Like, they can't continue their business when you're doing it like that. So, I say all that to say, if you remember when we were talking about the whole Libra scandal, the Hayden Davis, the creator of the Libra token, he was caught through text message released or whatever. That hey, he was laughing at this. We bought the Argentine president. We bought the president of Argentina or whatever. We can make them do what we want. Look at all these people. They're calling them names. They're being funny. We can run their government, their law. Well, yeah, it's kind of funny unless their allies see this and say, not really. And this makes us all look weak. We must do something. That's essentially what's happening behind the scenes here. Argentine lawyer requests Interpol red notice for Libra creators being reported. An Argentine lawyer who represented a former president in a fraud case asked for a global arrest warrant to be issued for Libra token creator Hayden Davis. Now, again, this is just a lawyer requesting it, so it's not like it's the government itself, but this is how the fires get stoked to begin with, right? You don't know how the politics work there. I would assume is now on the up and up if the president did a rug pull on the meme coin. Like I'm gonna go ahead and I mean, as I'm sitting in America and the same thing happened, I can admit here that the politics aren't on the up and up. So I'm gonna assume the politics aren't on the up and up there as well. And if that's the case, whoever pays the judge first, whoever pays whoever political system or regulatory system first is going to win this, whether it's the lawyers and his team that he's representing, which I'm sure he said is the old president or whatever. He probably has a lot of capital, or Hayden Davis is going to have to cough up some of that capital he got from the rug pull. But regardless, the last thing you want is for this guy to be stirring something up because all he needs is for one person from Interpol to agree and say, you know what? This guy is out of control. Like, let's reel him in. Again, this is Argentine lawyer Gregorio Dalbin has reportedly asked for a global arrest warrant to be issued for Hayden Davis, the co-creator of the Libra token that caused a political scandal in the country. Dalbin submitted a request to prosecutor Eduardo Taino and Judge Maria Sabini, who are probing President Javier Milei's involvement in the meme coin, seeking for an Interpol red notice to be issued for Davis. Local outlets Pagina 12 and Perfo reported on March 11th. I mean, listen, here's a good thing. And I'm not sure how red notices work with U.S. citizens, but I would say this is like you did your travel to Europe, it sounds like. I mean, you don't need to go there that many times in your life, do you? You did your travel. You had a good time. You just can't go back, Hayden. It seems like this is it. You did your one and done. I don't think they're going to welcome you back. So it's one of those things where I don't know how much this really will affect him and his companies or the rug pull itself. But it happened, and they are officially on his ass. So we will see what happens next with this story, like the rest. I don't know. Someone else was it Richard Hart who had the red notice as well, and he settled the SEC. So again, I'm not sure how much that's going to affect U.S. citizens, how much they're going to care about this. All right, crypto whale liquidated for $308 million and leveraged ether trade. That's right. Crypto markets remain volatile due to uncertainty around global trade tensions, increasing the risk of leverage trading. And again, I was just talking about this the other day. So either the trader listened to me, the people who write the story, or both. But on a serious note, everyone knows like all the traders in this space, when it's this volatile and you're getting these big dips and 10K here and 10, 12, 15% there, like those are the optimal times to start trading. So um it makes sense to see more traders in the market and to see the volume of these exchanges go up. And of course, it makes sense to see these margin plays, these leverage plays, which I spoke about last week. Unfortunately, like I said, the higher you go, the smaller the liquidation kind of range is. A and then B is easier to make mistakes. So we're seeing that here. Let me pull up this, make it big. Boom. Crypto markets here. Let's see. A large crypto trader known as a whale lost more than $308 million on a leveraged ether position, underscoring the risk of leverage trading during volatile market conditions. The unknown trader was liquidated on their 50x leverage long position for over 160,234 ether, worth more than 308 million at the time of writing. If you remember, I was using that 500x example the other day. My brain froze and I said times five. But again, for every dollar you get 500 back, right? So with this guy, for every dollar he put up, he got 50 back. So you got 1,000 going in, you're getting 50,000 back to trade with. This is an amazing play right here. Um, and yeah, it didn't work out. Oftentimes it doesn't. I mean, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, especially when you have these big plays. Because here's the thing you got to remember, you're doing 308 million. I'm sure they're going to tell us here. I do want to know what exchange they were using, things of the sort. Was it a DeFi exchange? Was it on a centralized one? On some of these centralized exchanges, they have algorithms like they're not about to get hit for it's like a casino. They're not going to let themselves get hit for $308 million when they code everything. Like these are the same people who worked at Robinhood and Coinbase, which will turn off trading at your optimal moments. They will not allow their company to get hit for $300 million. So if you're doing that type of leverage trade where he's like, oh man, if I get this one off, I'm about to make 2, 3, 400 million. It's like my question is like, what platform are you on? And who have you spoken to who's been paid out these numbers on these platforms? Because the people I talk to, and the way I know this to work, even from a mental standpoint of doing some aggressive trades in the past, is like if you go too crazy and you know you're about to get it and it just suddenly doesn't, you're not going crazy. The exchange didn't let it happen. So this is crazy to see. But again, this is leverage positions that use borrowed money to increase the size of an investment, which can boost the size of both gains and losses, making leverage trading riskier compared to regular investment positions. Again, I've used on average, when I leverage trade in the past, on average, it's 5 to 10x. All right. Like if I go crazy 12 to 15, yes, there have been moments when I've done 20 to 30. And I only went to that 500x indicator just to see if it was real. Like I did like something like low, like a few bucks. Just like, is this even a real possibility? And when I was like saw it was real, I was like, holy smokes, this is real. X X X X X. Five. Could you imagine that, folks? $1, 500 back, and this is on DeFi platforms. This is why the IRS was like, hey, we need to get in on this game. We gotta get in on this game. The crypto whale opened the initial 50x leverage position when ETH was trading at $1,900 with a liquidation price of 1877. All right, so this again highlights my point as well. Quick trading lesson. I said when it was 500x, it would be like within, I don't know if I said cents or a few dollars, but this goes to show you it probably is actually cents. $1,900. The liquidation price is 1877. Holy smokes. What is that off the top of my head? $23? Is that the 70, 80? Yeah, $23. You have a 20 folk. When I do the crypto coins at the beginning of the show, like we see they bounce with $300 within a matter of seconds. You have a $23 window at 50x. Like I said, if you go crazy, you go 100x, you go 300x, 500x. Yes, that is where you hear some of these people making these crazy numbers at sometimes, but they don't tell you about the stories like today where you get liquidated for $308 million. So again, it does happen. I would assume this is probably some wealth management firm, but hey, if you had a few hundred million to play with, you got a few hundred million more. I know a few folks in this space who've been hit 50K here, 100K here, a few hundred K there from doing the same thing. And you'll see it happen. It's like you can get people get up, they have a lot of money, they're going crazy, and they're like, you know what? I've been spending money for 6 months. It's time for me to make all my money back in one swoop. The market's crazy. Let me put a 50 ball here. Let me put 75K here, 80K there. And then that leverage play eats you alive. It happens, folks. It happens for smaller traders. And as you see here, it definitely happens for bigger traders as well. Jake said, exactly. If you don't have a promo code with users you bring to the exchange, you're not going to make money. They will liquidate you. They only let people win at times when they bring on others. That is true. DeFi exchanges outside of that. DeFi, like when they're still in the DeFi side of the house or trying, it's still pretty good, I'll say. It's still pretty good up to at least easy 50 to 100K. 50 to 75, 75 to 100K is when you're going to start getting like, man, like that's when you'll start getting that. Don't mean you always lose it or nothing bad will happen, but you will start getting more raised eyebrows for sure. Let's see what else we have. Jump Out Girl said 500x is insane. I think it was on. Was it on? I don't know. It was on a Strom game, which is gone now. They're one of the ones who rebranded, but I think they Strom game or Storm game. I think they had the 500x for a minute. Yeah, it's crazy, folks. 500x. Yeah, 50x leverage longing Ethereum right now sure is an interesting strategy. Alec, who are you telling? You're supposed to 50x short that bad boy. They 58. No, Ethereum can't go. This is the thing about Ethereum, folks. They really can't believe it's happening in front of their eyes. This is BitConnect all over again, but not BitConnect. They really can't believe is at 8.5%. They're like, it'll come back. We got the new upgrade. No, 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 no. It is over and done with. But hey, we'll see. I mean, honestly, all it does take for real is a great upgrade, and they are back in the space again. So we'll see. Jake said that boy Trump is threatening 200% tariffs on wine and cognac. He a wild boy for that, is he? He trying to sober everybody up? I don't know. All right, what else we have? Last couple of stories. Shout out to Ripple. Ripple begs Dubai license to offer crypto payments in the UAE. Payments utility is also expected to drive greater stablecoin adoption in the UAE for their real-time settlement and value proposition. Looks like they received approval from Dubai Financial Services Authority to provide regulated crypto payments and services in the UAE, making it the first blockchain-enabled payments provider licensed by the agency. And it gives it, well, I think this is a 60th regulatory approval worldwide. This story kind of touched me, and I was like, shout out to this story because this is when I officially got into Bitcoin myself. Again, I knew about it a little bit. I was deployed in 2014, 2015, and 2016. 2014, I was on a ship though, only government computers, and I just didn't really feel comfortable looking up Bitcoin stuff. They were saying it's all for criminals and stuff. Um, but in 2015, 2016, when I really started traveling, I was going to Dubai and things like that. A couple times my debit card stopped working. At the time, you had to put what countries you were going to on your debit card so you can have like notices or whatever. I didn't always know where I was going because I was in the military. I'm popping up new countries, literally day of. I'm going to different countries, blah, blah, blah. It's the military life, real life, Uncle Sam stuff. So I don't know where I'm going to be at sometimes. And a couple times my debit or credit card, whatever, would stop working. I'm talking about your heart is beating, you're sweating, you're in a country where you don't speak the language and your card isn't working. It is like horrible. So that happened a couple times. That's when I really did start getting serious about Bitcoin because I was like, all right, like what is this? How does this really work? And that's when I really started using it. I'm like, oh man, I can just go through airports now, be in different countries, like, and I don't have to worry about this debit or credit card thing. But this all kind of started in the Middle East. I really remember when it happened as well. So even seeing this picture today and seeing like Ripple are now actually offering crypto payments in the UAE and where we're going to now is like this is crazy. It's happening. It did legitimately take 10 or 11 years. I can't believe I'm saying it. It happened so fast, but yes, it took 10 or 11 years. It should not have taken it that long, which is why I question the intelligence of the human population, but it took 10 or 11 years. Here it is. Here, I think they'll be the first ones. Like they said, they'll be adding stable coins and everything else, but it's finally here to where you can use regular digital payments on your phone. Like this is big news. You're talking the exchange rate, you're talking about having to go to the airport to get money or go somewhere else in the country to get money. Like just so many moving parts. I would actually say Ripple, the technology does make this easier. Again, you can do it with Bitcoin. Let me be super clear. You can do it with Bitcoin. But unlike Bitcoin, there isn't an official spokesperson, right? And everyone knows that banks, including the banks in Dubai and UAE, are against Bitcoin. But you get Ripple, you get something centralized. You can control who gets to have it and gets to use it, tax it. Hey, people are happy. So as of now, I'd rather take this base hit than nothing. Shout out to Ripple. 2 wins in the day. You got the SEC bagging off of you again, and you have the UAE and Dubai welcoming you. So shout out to Ripple. But let me make sure I get the Bitcoin in the camera. Look at that Bitcoin bag. I'm doing too much XRP. Look, ain't no XRP glazing going on in here. All right. Y'all did I finally? No. Last but not least, lone Bitcoin miner wins block using tiny, cheap rig, 1 in a million chance. I want to highlight something really quick. Whenever people are saying, well, yeah, Bitcoin doesn't work anymore, is this, is that's happening, it's old and it's slow. And this is why Bitcoin is still the grandfather chain. It's the main chain. It is the most important chain in technology of like the last some AI programs and AI things. I won't say are eclipsing it, but are getting close for sure. But for the most part, the technology of Bitcoin has been the most important technological advancement we've had since the internet, people. To me, in like the last 20 years, easy. Since 2005, Bitcoin is the most powerful technology we have received in the world. So um, people say all this stuff about it, but yes, as a lone miner, you're still able to mine that block. You're still able to do what the network's supposed to do. As a lone miner, you're able to do that. That says so much about the network. It says it's still fair. Yeah, it doesn't happen every day. It's hard to happen and all this other stuff. Who knows? But it's saying that yes, this network, everything is happening for the most part. It could be better, right? It could be more decentralized. It could be more anonymous, more privatized, and so on and so forth. But by and large, it is working. If a loan miner, we saw this happen a year ago, the year before, so on and so forth. If loan miners are still getting the block rewards, it shows that the system is fair and is working. Whereas you talk about Ethereum or some of these other platforms or projects, it's like you have to buy your way into it. You legitimately have to buy, which at now, I don't know, it's cheap right now, but you have to buy your way into it. There's no buying your way into this. You can buy the parts, the hardware, whatever, download the software, of course, the Bitcoin program, and running no electricity and everything, internet. But by and large, it's like the lone person can still win in this market. So shout out to Bitcoin and the Bitcoin blockchain for that. Really quick, this story: a solo Bitcoin miner successfully mined block 887,212 using a pocket-sized BitX machine and banked around $263,000. That's right. Using a relatively cheap pocket-sized crypto mining rig has solved one of the blockchain's blocks and earned the full $263,000 reward. This miner became the 297th solo miner to mine a Bitcoin block from the solo.ck pool Bitcoin mining pool. Its developer Con Calivis said in a March 10th X post. He added the miner used a 480 gigahash per second BitX machine. For comparison, many big crypto mining companies use machines that can operate at over 230,000 gigahashes. Again, this person used one that was 480. A miner of this size has only less than a 1 in a million chance of finding a block per day, or put alternatively, would take 3,500 years to find a block on average. They miners snared, of course, a total of 3.15 Bitcoin, the price of it at that time, and there it is. That is what's up. I mean, listen, strong round of applause. Gotta love the Bitcoin network. That's crazy. I mean, that's again, this is the stuff that interests me about the market. Like the technology side is super cool. As crazy as it is, no matter where the price is at, you're doing two things. I want to remind everybody by running a Bitcoin node. For those who don't know what a Bitcoin node is, that's literally you just operating the Bitcoin software on your computer, your laptop, or whatever. It does take a little bit of time to download because it's been so long now, all the different blocks. But essentially, you just download it on your computer, use a spare one if you have an old computer, download the Bitcoin blockchain. It, for one, strengthens the network, right? Because now if somebody were to hack the network, they would need to hack your computer too. They need to hack at least 51% of the nodes of the computers in the network servers, whatever. So you download it, you become an active participant, you strengthen the network, and you have the opportunity to win an actual block if you're a miner, if you start mining on your computer or node or whatever else. So shout out to the people doing that. Shout out to all those miners. Great story to end the day on. Other than that, that is the show for today. Smash a like and share. And I will see you all tomorrow for FBF.